Welcome to Study Loop.
Asks about how the adaptive immunity works in the human body. So first we need to know the difference between adaptive and innate immunity. So innate immunity are all the non-specific defenses used by the human body against pathogens. So these cells that are involved, such as macrophages, dendritic cells, mast cells, they are compared to the adaptive immune system, very non-specific and just willing to kill off. Compared to the adaptive immune system, which is very highly specific, B cells and T cells are very specific for certain types of antigens presented by very certain pathogens, and these cells often leave out memory B and T cells for immunological memory, so that the next time we encounter this a specific pathogen that has a specific antigen that's recognized, the attack launched by the body is stronger and faster. So let's just see which statement is true regarding adaptive immunity. The first one says a person is born having a specific immune response against any pathogen that the body is exposed to. So it is true that we do get some antibodies from our mother's milk, but it is incorrect to say that a person is born having specific immune responses. Those are built over time based on your exposure to certain pathogens. So A would be incorrect. B says a person is born with the ability to develop a specific immune response against any pathogen. That is true within minutes of being exposed. Within minutes is too extreme of a statement. It does take a couple of hours, even days, for any immune system attack to be launched. So B would be incorrect. C, a person does not have any immune response against a pathogen, but develops a temporary specific response to that pathogen that is then forgotten. So the problem here is that is then forgotten. I mentioned that there is a concept called immunological memory. So here's the picture of the initial exposure, the immune response, and then if we get exposed to another pathogen the second time, the immune response is much stronger and faster. So it would be incorrect to say that the specific response to a very specific pathogen is forgotten. Which leaves us with D, which says a person does not have a specific immune response against a pathogen, but develops a specific response to that pathogen that is rapidly recalled later if an infection by the same pathogen occurs again. So this is true. People other than the antibodies that they gain from their mother's milk, for example, which is called passive immunity, they do not have specific immune responses against pathogens because we aren't exposed to them, and B and T cells are not activated until the body detects the antigen of a pathogen. So, yes, that's true, and develops a specific response that, when is rapidly recalled later, if that infection by the same pathogen occurs again, that is also true. So, we can correctly say that the answer to this question is D.